G'day guys, my name's Alex and welcome back to another episode of Alex's Fishing. Today we're here with just plain white bread and we're going to be targeting carp. As you can see in the background, that's the new footbridge in the Adelaide city centre. So we're pretty much in the heart of the city and there's plenty of big carp and maybe the odd catfish in here. So fingers crossed we get onto a few. I'm just using a little sort of a running sinker rig, but instead of running sinkers we're using split shots. And I'll show you what hook sizes and leader we're using in the near future, so stay tuned. Alright guys, I've bought myself 2 of these rod holders. These are super convenient. All you need to do is chuck them in the ground. They fit in your bag nice. Just spike it in like so. And once it's nice and firm, just chuck the rod holder in. Sorry, chuck the rod in the rod holder. That way it's nice and firm. So even if a fish takes it, it won't fall out or slip out. It's quite firm because that thing's holding it there. So got 2 of those and yeah, they set the rods nicely so we can watch for bites. All right guys, so before we get started, I'm going to be just grabbing 2 slices of bread and just grabbing the middle bit, so the bread white, and forget about the crust. Feed that to the birds or just leave it next to you for a bit of burley later. But just gather all the white from each slice like so, and then just mash it together as hard as you can, just so that it gets really firm and doughy. And when you get it to that sort of consistency, you just want to pick little bits off about the same size as your bait, like so, and squeeze it so that it sinks, and maybe get about 10 or so in your palm. Alright, so there we have about 8 pieces of bait, maybe 9. And what you want to do is just chuck a handful out to where you're about to cast, and that should bring carp in. And once one starts feeding, they all start feeding in the same sort of area. So just chuck that out. So now that we've chucked out a couple of handfuls, we just want to start fishing in that same area. So probably threw it about 10 meters out, and hopefully in about 10 minutes time there should be carp around the area. So stay tuned and hopefully we get a nice run. Alright guys, so my bait's been in there for about 5 minutes and I've hooked up to the first fish already. The boat just went past, so there's a bit of ripples around the place. Doesn't feel too bad. I've got 10 pound on this rod, so nice light outfit, and look at that bend in the rod. These carp fight bloody hard for their size, so oh, see those head shakes? Not a bad fish at all.
Oh, big one.
Yeah, isn't it?
Got a net.
Nah, I'll have to grab it.
You keep it?
Nah.
Have you ever caught anything else with that?
Yeah, I've caught reddy up higher, redfin perch, trout as well.
Really?
Yeah, and there's catfish around this area too.
Okay.
Yeah, salmon.
We've seen schools of those things.
Have you? Oh, sweet.
Just in this area.
Yeah, right. On the surface as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
quite close.
yeah.
There must be a lot of them.
Yeah, hey.
And they're big.
That's it.
What are you using for your bait?
I'll pretty much just spread it forward.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Alright, I've forgotten the net, guys. So I'm gonna have to somehow try get him up. The bait had been in the water for about 5 minutes only. And this fish is about 6 to 8 pounds. Well, there we have it, guys. A very nice common carp, straight out from the Adelaide city centre. I reckon today's going to be a great day. We've only been here for about 5-10 minutes, and look at that. That's the result of throwing about a handful of burley out. It's about 6 to 8 pounds, I reckon, and check out how pale in colour it is, but that orange vibrant tail, pretty amazing fish. And those big lips, they're made for sucking and filter feeding off the bottom, which is why we're using bread or corn. And we've got a running sinker rig just so that it sits nicely on that sort of muddy bottom. Look at him. Awesome stuff. Alright guys, just hooked up to a fish and it's right underneath that buoy, so I think I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Oh nice, he's swimming back out that way. It feels like a solid fish, a very solid fish. Just relaxing, had the rod in the rod holder, wasn't even focusing, and I just heard drag, looked up and my rod was loaded up. So goes to show these rod holders work a treat. They don't fly out the rod holders just because it's got that extra bar for support. And this carp has a lot of weight, so I reckon it's a real good one. Look at this screaming run. It's a real good fish, guys. Got plenty of weight on him. Plenty of weight on this fish. Can't even move him, he's that heavy. Oh yeah, it's a good fish. Probably 10 pounds, maybe 12. Or maybe bigger. It's been fighting for about 3 minutes now. Yep, it's a cracker fish, guys. Maybe about 10 pounds. Nice and chunky, but he pulled so hard for his size. Thought he was bigger. Still a very good size fish. There we have it, guys. Another whopping carp. Now this one's a bit bigger than the last one. This one's about 10 pounds. Maybe even 12 or 13. So he's been feeding on our burley. He was in that burley trail, but look at that. What a force, hey. Once again, slurped that piece of bread in, and like I said, I was just relaxing and my rod just went screaming off, and had a look and it was fully loaded. So cracker carp just in the Adelaide city centre. Alright guys, so I may have underestimated how heavy it actually is, because check out the girth on that, and I reckon it's probably 70 centimeters on the dot, so it could even be 15 pound, but for now I'll call it for about 14-13 pound, because I don't have a scale with me. But It's a nice chunky fish and he felt quite heavy, but got our lines straight back out. Try get another one. All right guys, so the rig I'm using today is a split shot and about 10-15 centimeters to the hook, and I'm just using a bait holder hook in size 4. So the bait holder is good for pieces of corn, but in today's case we're using bread. And what you want to do is just get that fluffy white bit of the bread and sort of put it on the shank of the hook like so, and then just mash it on, leaving the barb exposed. So when a carp comes by and sucks it up, the barb's exposed and can pin the lip like so. So just leave it exposed and sort of mash it into a sausage shape so it's easier to suck down. And just like that, we have a ready to go rig. And the line I'm running is just 10-pound leader, so 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Don't really need fluorocarbon for carp. I just use it just in case they run into snags or any sort of structure which can bust you off. So it's just that extra bit of heavier line. And yeah, there we go. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. We got these 2 gorgeous carp. Check out those vibrant colors on them. They fought so hard on our light tackle. We didn't end up hooking one on the heavy tackle, but it was all in good fun. Caught them on plain white bread with a hook and a split shot, just a size 4 hook. And yeah, great fun. Give it a crack, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for watching.